So last video I said I was going to make this video ahead of time. That did not happen. So yeah, I'm in Toronto right now. So this week's topic is trans mentors or idols. And so far my name has been mentioned in both of the videos this week, so I'm feeling amazing. And Chase, you say that you fangirl over me? Oh my god, when I meet you. Depending on what kind of shape I'm in, I might just have to leap into your arms. I hope you're ready for that. I'm like 150 pounds, just a heads up. Let me start by saying that when I was like growing up and becoming trans, that was probably a really terrible way to phrase it. I was definitely a YouTube lurker. I didn't comment on things, I didn't make videos, obviously. And even though I didn't interact with any of them, YouTube was the extent of my interactions with any trans people, because in my hometown, I was the first one that I knew of anywhere to come out. A couple people came out after me, but I wasn't idolizing them and they weren't mentoring me. We were just like different in a lot of ways. Like everyone who came out after me, I couldn't really relate to them. I still can't. We're kind of friends, but we're not even that close. And I won't say that I was craving a trans mentor or idol, but I got to a point where I just really wanted to just make some trans friends. So I started the whole YouTube thing. I started vlogging myself and commenting on like every video possible. Regardless of the few people that thought that I was like a psycho, I have met some amazing people. And let me just dispel one myth right now. A lot of people think that in order to like look up to a trans person, they have to be either like farther along in their transition or they have to have been out for a longer amount of time. And that is so not true. A lot of people that I'm about to mention, either I've been on hormones or something longer than them, or I've been out longer than them, and still they have a lot to offer, and they teach me a lot, and yeah, I look up to them, like I said. So that's a myth. YouTuber number 1. His name is Forrest. His username is Closet Transgender. So Forrest is a really amazing guy. He's one of the nicest, least judgmental, most tolerant people I've ever seen ever. And he's reachable, which is really important for, you know, these trans idol people. He's a pretty popular YouTuber, and I swear he gets back to every comment. He comments on every single person's page who subscribes to him. He's always there. And, you know, people like Kai Ford and Skylark11, they don't even check their messages. If someone needs help, they can't get help from those people, and Forrest has just been amazing about always being there. But I think my favorite thing about him by far is how, like I said, tolerant he is. He has such an understanding and at the same time a curiosity for people's point of view, and he does not judge them no matter what it is. You know, he's not the kind of person to instantly blast someone for saying something intolerant or ignorant, because he knows that that isn't their entire person. No matter what someone's point of view is, he seems to always find it interesting, and he'd always try and wrap his head around it. And I think that's something that I always strive to do. If you have that attitude towards someone who's initially intolerant, you're much more likely to make them see where you're coming from if you're trying to see where they're coming from. And Forrest is just so good at that. He is always looking on the bright side and making, you know, kind of tougher situations more lighthearted. It's so great. So he's amazing. Next up is Wes, or Your Pal Wes on YouTube. This guy, he is just so insightful. He's so smart. I just think he expresses all of his ideas so eloquently and magically. I feel like every time I see a video of his, I come out with like a greater understanding of myself, and that's what I like about him. I feel like he's really in touch with himself and his own emotions, and I just find him to be really self-aware, and I don't know if I'm misinterpreting that, but that's what I get out of his videos. As far as like trans mentoring, he's really helped me be more self-aware and be more in touch with myself and my body. And I think his videos probably help a lot of people in the same way. And Wes really puts himself out there on the internet, and that's, again, something that I want to be able to do, because he helps a lot of people, and I would like to be able to help people with my thoughts, but sometimes it's hard to put that on the internet, and he always does that. Next we have CL Johns on YouTube with some numbers at the end, aka Ethan. This is someone who I nag a lot with transition related questions, and he always has all the answers. He's like a huge activist, and that's what I idolize the most, I suppose. I really want to be as much of an activist as he is. He does like a lot of good for the community, and he's really encouraging to everyone. He always has encouraging things to say to me. It's not just empty words, has a lot of information. So many resources. If you wanted anything from him, I bet he would know either the answer or where to find the answer, or at least make you feel good about yourself, because he's pretty good at that too. Last but definitely not least, in fact the exact opposite of least, because this guy, he's probably someone that's helped me the most, not only in transition, like this goes like way beyond just a trans idol. This person is Alex Haney 100, aka Alex Haney. I probably talk to him about everything, all of my problems, all of my not problems, all the good things that happen. I swear I must tell him everything about my life. He's like the Val expert. He gives me good advice, great advice, no matter what I'm talking to him about. He's practically like a second parent, except I can tell him things that I would never tell my parents. He's the best. So yeah, trans idols. I talked about them, and now I have to go do Canada things. And Chase, I will be seeing you. See you next Thursday.